Alrighty, attention in the pits. All racers, report to the staging lanes. The show's about to start.
Good evening, everyone.
He must have lit us up. I was waiting. Hey, everybody, welcome back. This week we're gonna use the real reason we do bench racing, so we can bullshit and tell lies. So that's what we're gonna do tonight. What we're gonna do is we're gonna discuss, and they're only partial lies. But anyway, what we're gonna do is we're gonna discuss Ed Page's combination and compare it to some of the other traditional Pontiacs out there that are turbocharged. And then we're going to compare it to door cars. And there's a list out there that we're going to share with everybody tonight. I hope my son can pull it up. That has the fastest Pontiacs on it. And I think, you know what? I didn't bring my glasses, so I'm going to have to squint.
Oh, great.
I know, right? I don't know if I see. Is Ed on tonight?
Ed is on tonight.
All
and
right.
you want Ed Page's right?
Yeah, so
I
where's
just seen it right here.
All right, so Ed is number 22 on the list. Is that in order of how fast the cars are?
Yes.
Okay.
Fastest at the top, obviously, and slowest at the bottom.
All right, cool.
And when I say slow, we're in 7 seconds.
All right, if you want to call that slow, right?
Right.
So anyway, that what we're going to do is we're going to compare a couple of different things. We're going to compare vehicle weight. We're going to compare cubic inches. We're going to compare the fuel. We're going to compare the what the other thing is too.
Cubic inch. Did you say that already?
Yeah, I said cubic inch. We're going to compare the physical appearance of the car because Ed's car, as you most of you know, that thing is could be a street car. I mean, it would be a pro street car because it got big tire on it, but it's got a factory flat hood on it. It doesn't have a big scooped hood and you know, big. Well, it does have a wing on the back, so I guess technically it's got a wing parachute, but it doesn't look like your typical race car. It looks more like a car you would see at a local cruise in on a Friday or Saturday night.
Well, minus the parachute and wing and wheelie bar.
Yeah. Well, the pro street cars have that.
Yeah.
You know, our Le Mans, whenever we get that thing done, we're going to title or put. Well, I have the title. We're going to tag that thing and we're going to drive it on the street. It's got wheelie bar and parachute.
And thank you, Ed. 2 chutes.
Yeah, don't mess that up. Well, he's going to need 2 chutes because I think once Ed gets this thing all done, so this is part of the speculating. So if you guys read my intro to this tonight, we're going to speculate and we're going to
Percolate.
and we're going to bullshit. So, but anyways, I mean, if you look at the vehicles that are in that list, and you look at the what kind of fuel they're running and the weight of the car, so gasoline doesn't pack as much punch under a blown or turbo situation as methanol does, and I think a lot of the guys on the top of the list are not only running methanol. There might be one on there that was a Q16, I think. I'm not sure. So maybe you can see that better than I.
So we got nitro mix, alcohol.
Yeah, so we got some cars that are running a nitro mix, and that's huge.
Q16, then this says race gas. Scott Rex's Firebird.
Okay.
I don't know why this came up all of a sudden, but
what is that?
I don't know. It won't
Right
turn
over,
off.
Right over here's this.
That's a smiley face.
Yeah, see, I told you I don't have my glasses on. Well, apparently, is this on the site, or is that the picture I shared with you?
This might be popping up because we have the free version of Excel.
Oh, okay. Well, go away.
That's return to work. There we go.
Oh boy, that isn't what we wanted to do.
There
we
we
are.
go.
Okay.
So we got some
So-
race gas, Q16.
Yeah, well, Q16's race gas. Scott Rex probably was running Q.
And then C25.
Okay.
Oh, M1 too.
Yeah. Well, M1's methanol.
Oh, okay. I thought that was race fuel.
No. All right. So, anyways, the top cars, most of them run methanol, and some of them are running nitro mix. And whenever you run a nitro mix, that's adds quite a bit of horsepower to the engine. And I don't know if you guys have seen that one with Cletus, where he took a shop truck, or what was that truck that he had? And
It was just a Silverado that they found in the junkyard.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
And at the end, they were running that thing on 100% nitro.
Yep.
And they ran out of injector, or they would have went further because it was still making power. But it was amazing. The engine picked up it almost tripled in power, didn't it? Nitromethane?
I know for a fact it doubled, but I don't
think
know
it
if they.
almost tripled. They just ran out of fuel injector. They thought they could triple the horsepower of the engine.
Yeah,
Now, granted, that was a 300 horsepower engine, but
Yeah.
still,
Right.
900 horsepower out of a stock 5.3 or 4.8. I don't even know what it was. But
Yep.
yeah, that's insane. So anyway, that's the kind of kick you get out of nitro. And I'm sure those guys weren't running that much of it. They probably were running 10 or 20%. But that's enough to boost it quite a bit. And so anyway.
I don't know how much they're running, because I know Justin Shearer, he's running a nitro mix.
He did whenever he ran the Crowbird, I think he did. I don't know if he is now.
No,
or
he
not.
still is with his black car.
Oh, is he?
Yep, with the Crow, 3 or whatever it is now. But only reason why is because I follow him on Facebook too. But he was blowing perfect smoke rings out of his exhaust on one cold night. And he said something about that's what nitro will do for you.
I didn't know they were allowed to run a nitro mix in the Street Outlaws.
Well, he doesn't do anything Street Outlaws.
Where was he racing at that you could run that?
He was racing some, I think, War in the Woods or whatever that one sketchy track is everyone goes to now.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like an outlaw race.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
wasn't anything sanctioned.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, so yeah, most sanctioning races, like if you were to go to a national event for NHRA or IHRA or whatever, they have a nitro class. But if you're running like top sportsman, I think you're allowed to run alcohol, but I don't think you're allowed to run nitro mix.
Well, when he did Indianapolis with the Pro Mod, I wonder what he ran then. Was it nitro? Because he ran Pro Mod class.
Yeah, he was running nitro at that time.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. So we got that we're trying to calculate into this equation too. But the big factor is vehicle weight. If you look at the weight of Ed's car on that list compared to the rest of the vehicles on that list, I think
1,000-pound difference.
I think the heaviest one was 2,900, and so that's still about a 750-pound difference. And for whenever you start getting to that speed or that level, every 100 pounds is huge. So where's the weights at on those? Yeah, 29.
Right here, 2720, 2900. 2900 is Bill Mellett GTO and Tommy Yeomans
Tommy Yeoman.
GTO, which that car's fast.
Fast. That car's fast. Now, is he running nitro mix or what's he running?
He is running alcohol.
Okay. And so that car's fast. There's no doubt about it. I don't know what size turbos he has. Maybe Ed knows. And if he does.
98 millimeter.
Oh, it tells you in there?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So he's got big ass turbos on that
Twin
thing.
98 millimeter turbocharged KRE billet warp 6 heads.
Okay. And what's
And,
Rodney have on his car?
Rodney has 91.
91s.
Yep.
Now, I wonder if that's his old turbos.
I was going to say, I think those are, because I think that's what
He might have
Page has.
94 now, I think. Well, Ed Page bought turbos from him, but I don't know which one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Ed Page does not have 91s on his. He's got 88s.
And on that list, Ed Page said, Tommy's pass wasn't a full quarter pass either.
Okay. So Tommy's car's badass. There ain't no doubt about it. As he's probably got the baddest Pontiac in the country right now. I think he's even running better than what that list is now. I think he's been as quick as, man, I don't want to say it wrong, so I don't want to mess it up, but maybe Ed knows. I think it's somewhere in the mid threes now in the 8th mile, which is like a pretty close to what was the top guy on there on the list? What are you looking for?
Oop, wrong button. The top guy is Mike Cooper.
Yeah, so Mike Cooper.
He went as 6'1".
Yeah, he's that's friggin' hauling ass right there. So
yeah.
Yeoman is real close to knocking on that door, right in that area now, I would say.
I think he's in 6'3s.
Well, I don't.
3 months ago, he just did a 200-mile-an-hour pass.
That was in the 8th.
His personal best is a 386 at 206 mile an hour in the 8th.
And what was the date on that?
That was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
3.6 a year ago.
Yeah, so I thought he was in the mid threes. So if you guys remember, if you guys have been following us since we started this, how you can figure out quarter mile time is you take the 8th mile time and you multiply it times 1.57. That gives you a quarter mile time. So what was his time? 3 what?
Oop. It was a
3:64.
Where did I see that at? I just seen it and I lost it. 361.
361. All right. So times 1.57. Yeah, holy shit, that's hauling ass. Yeah, that's equivalent. That he's definitely got the fastest door car. If that's accurate, it ran that would be a 560 in the quarter. Yeah. That's hauling mail. Let me make sure I didn't screw up. That might be my math. Let me make sure I didn't mess that up. So 3.61 times 1.57. Yeah, 566. So I don't know how much of a difference there is for the 8th mile compared to the quarter mile setup, and how much they might lose in the 8th mile if they're changing gear or converter or whatever to get the car to go to full quarter. But
Well, he just went a 397.4 at 200 mile an hour on a drag radial,
okay.
and that was in March.
You know what? I wonder if that 360 something was with the big black Chevy he had in it, because he had a big Chevy in the car for a while they were getting the other engine fixed. So that's still, if it's 397, that's 620s in the quarter.
Yeah. He claims to have 3,600 horse.
Yeah, so that's a badass Pontiac. But anyhow, we're getting a little off track here. So what we're going to do is, so if you take the weight factor for Ed Page's car, Ed still has, and so another thing we need to discuss too is boost. I'm sure that these guys on the top of the list are not running the same boost that Ed's running. Ed's car right now, I think the max boost he's had is like 32 PSI, which these other guys I do believe are running somewhere in the, I want to say 50 to 60 PSI range, which is almost double what Ed's running, and on alcohol, and the cars are lighter. So if you start looking at the whole picture, Ed's car's pretty badass considering it's running on gasoline, lower boost, heavier vehicle, and they have yet to make a good pass in that car. They're consistently creeping up on it, but they haven't been able to get the car to leave hard, and then they had transmission problems, and then they had they're losing a valve on one cylinder for some reason. They got it's burning a valve. So there's been a lot of things that they're fighting right now. So they've really never had the car make a good full pass down a quarter mile yet. So once they do, this is where the bullshit comes in, because I'm going to predict, I'm going to say that once they get this thing dialed in, they're going to probably run somewhere in the 680s to 690s at like 200 and maybe 10, 215 and a quarter, which is not going to make them as fast in the eighth as the other cars, but they got 1,000 pounds on these guys, and they also are running gasoline. So I know some of you guys don't know the physics involved with methanol, but because of the cooling effect that methanol has, typically under boost, you're going to gain roughly about 20 to 30% in horsepower over gasoline. And it's way easier to tune, and it's way easier on parts. It gives you a bigger, broader window to tune with.
Yeah, because Ed Page's car weighs 3650.
Right. And the next one to him is Yoma's car at 2,900, right?
There's a guy at 3650. Tony Olivera. He has this sick goat. 69 GTO Pro charged. Visner mirrored canted valve. Runs Q16. He's running a 6.9.
Okay.
And he weighs 3650.
So that's pretty impressive. I mean, it's running Q16, you said? That's good.
Yep.
Because I think that's what Ed runs too.
Yep.
So, but it's a canted valve head, and it's not a Pontiac.
Ed runs C16. I don't know how much of a difference in.
Oh yeah, you're right. Ed's a C16. But yeah, so the thing of it is, he's not running a traditional Pontiac head either. So that's where the bullshit's going to come in tonight too, because we're going to talk about that. You know what? Ed is doing this now. Mike Cooper's running my Tiger head that I designed years ago, and so that one I'm going to consider a traditional Pontiac head. Ed Page's I consider a traditional Pontiac head because of the factory tunnel copy of the factory tunnel port head. The other guys are all running canted valve, non-traditional Pontiac cylinder heads, and canted valves. Some argue that those are way better. Some argue they're marginally better. Some argue they're not better at all. But it only makes common sense, or makes sense that if you use common sense, that if they're moving the valve away from the cylinder, you're able to get more air and fuel around it, and it's going to make more power. So I would say that a canted valve head is definitely going to make more power than an inline valve. And so for the guys that don't know what that means, an inline valve means that all the valves, if you were to look down the valves, are all the same incline and the same angle. Canted valve heads, they call them porcupine heads because the valves are sitting like this with each other, and they're angled like this too. So they got multi angles on them. It's not just a single angle like an inline valve head.
Now, the KRE Billet Warp 6, is that a canted valve head as well?
That's a canted valve head, yes.
I never heard of is it Weisner or Visner?
Visner. What he did was, Gary Seigan, he took a set of my Tiger heads to Gary Visner, and he made a billet version of them. And Gary Seigan was running those for a while, and then they decided they're going to do a canted valve head, and that's what he's doing now. It's a billet head, but it's not a traditional Pontiac head. Oh,
because his fastest pass on the type of head is a Visner symmetrical billet is when he made his fastest pass with.
Yep. And that's Gary Seigan's car's fast too.
Yeah, that's Gary's car. Yeah. But what I'm really seeing is Edelbrock's, and then Edelbrock wide port.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. You know what? Big Chief runs an Edelbrock head. So that we can consider a traditional Pontiac head. It's a copy of the factory Ram Air 4 head. And who else was running Edelbrocks?
Rodney Butler?
Not anymore.
Not anymore is right. I know he's using the...
he's using a Visner head.
Yeah. And then John Welter?
Yeah, John hasn't been to the track in a while.
He has a 117 millimeter turbocharger on it.
Oh, it's huge. That thing's as big as a tire on a car.
and his fastest pass was in 2014. So,
Yeah, it's been a while ago. Like I said, I haven't seen him run for a while.
but then after that, it goes down to Ben Wilkinson.
And I think he had Edelbrock heads.
Yeah,
It was a high port head, but it's still a traditional inline valve Pontiac head.
and then he kind of, I think he's building a new car.
Yeah, he is. I think he's doing a Trans Am, like a Bandit type
Oh,
car.
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Because he's sold his car. That was a nice car too.
Yep. I don't know where it went, but he sold that one. So, yeah. So, anyways, what, you know, if we take the weight away on Ed's car, typically for every 100 pounds, you pick up a tenth of a second. So, Ed's car right now, if you can go by that formula, and I've personally seen that 100 pounds does make a tenth of a second in ET, so I think that it's pretty good speculation. But if you take away 750 pounds, so we can match like Tommy Yeoman's weight, and their best pass I think so far has been a 734. So 734 minus 7/10. Where are you going?
Yeah, hit the camera.
Oh. That puts Ed Page, if we were to take his engine out of his car, put it in Tommy Yeoman's car, make it run 660s. And that's with gasoline and only 30 pounds of boost.
Yeah, Tommy's car weighs 2,900 pounds.
Right. So if that all holds true. Now, Ed's got a really killer chassis, so and that's a factor as well.
I mean, Tommy's chassis is pretty nice too.
Well, absolutely. That's a pro mod car, but I'm not saying it. What I'm getting at is Ed Page's chassis, because it is so good, it may not pick up a tenth of a second for every 100 pounds.
Oh, you're saying that they're almost equivalent to getting traction.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's no doubt. Ed's car is definitely, that's a real nice chassis. Mike Hall built that for him over there by him, and it's a nice car. So, but yeah, I mean, you know, when you look at the numbers and you do a little bit of calculating and speculating, it looks like you know, Ed Page, if he were to lose some weight in that car, I don't think Ed can lose 700 pounds. What do you think?
Oh, I think he can. I think he doesn't want to.
I don't know. He would have to fill his ass full of helium. Because that's the only way he's going to lose 750 pounds. Now, I think his car could lose a few pounds, but I don't know about Ed.
But that adds to the cool factor, though. I mean, he has a real deal steel car.
Yeah, so Ed's car, you know, it's got, it does have Lexan windows, but I think most of the panels are steel except for the hood and the deck lid and maybe the doors. The doors might be fiberglass on that car.
And he also has power windows.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Now, and Ed has driven his car on the street. I don't think these other, well, you know what? Big Chief drove his on the street.
Yeah. He drives his black one on the street every once in a great while. I don't know if it's street legal anymore, though.
I haven't watched Street Outlaws in forever.
I haven't watched either. I just see him post stuff on his Facebook page.
Yeah, I don't watch TV anymore. I
Because he
haven't watched
moved
TV or
and
years.
got a new garage, and
He doesn't have a shop anymore?
I don't know if he does or not, to be honest with you, because he doesn't show it.
What's he do for money?
No idea.
Okay.
And I thought Ed had power windows in that, but front windows glass, no power windows.
Oh, okay. I thought they were power too. So.
Well, dang it, Ed, get on it.
So, what, you know, let me ask you, Ed, what do you think you're going to be able to boost the car to and when you get it back together this time? And comparatively speaking, I'm sure you got a calculator that can figure it out. How much more power do you think you're going to pick up by going from the boost you currently run and what you're going to try to run? Because that's huge too. And you know what? I don't know. I don't think you can mix nitromethane and gasoline. At least I've never heard anybody do it. That you usually use methanol as a carrier for nitromethane.
Well, aren't they with the what's the nostalgia guys called? Like with the nostalgia funny cars and dragsters, don't they run them on race fuel and then switch over to nitro?
Well, they start them on gasoline and then they flop it over to. Well, actually, they might start on alcohol. Now I think about it. They start it on alcohol and then they flop it over to nitromethane.
Gotcha.
And then it's probably, if I had to guess, it's only a 50-50 mix.
Well, at that point, yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's clearing out the line.
Well, no, what I mean by that is that's all they
Oh,
run.
they're only running 50% nitro.
Yeah, they're not like the big boys. I think the big boys are running like 90% nitro.
I think they bumped it even more.
I'm not sure. I don't think NHRA allow them to run more. That's a highly sanctioned deal. I don't know. What I haven't kept up on that stuff, so I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Ed Page said they are going to stick with 30 pounds and get the first half of the track sorted out. They should be able to run 4 5s in the eighth mile.
Okay. What's the car running now in the 8th? At 480?
NHRA allows 90%. Thank you, Philip. Third. Eric Chambers asked, have you guys seen the car called Sorceress?
Oh, yeah. That's a badass car. Actually, Eric shared a picture of that with me, and he wants to build a Pontiac engine for, I don't know what kind of car he's got, but he wants to build I think he's got I do know what he's got. He's got a Grand Prix Aero Coupe, and which is the ones that they did for like NASCAR. It's got the big back glass on it.
Okay, yeah.
Makes it more aerodynamic. And he wants to build a Ram Air 5 for that and play with the Sorceress. And that's going to take deep pockets. Because the Sorceress runs 5s, and that guy drives that on the street.
Whew. Ed Page said the new cam should make some additional power, and he runs 478 in the 8th now.
Okay.
And Phil III corrected himself. They allow 95%. I thought it was higher.
So they're bumping them up there.
Because Antoine Brown just set a new record.
Those guys are hauling ass, and they're only going 1,000 foot.
Yeah, and that's what they're saying, that they because Antoine Brown said something about on the interview thing. He goes, "Thanks for NHRA letting us up the
Nitro."
Yeah, nitro.
You know why? Because they're not getting as many fans in the stands anymore. So now they got to make it more exciting. And whenever you up the nitro, you know what's going to happen.
Boom.
Yeah. You're going to see a lot of blower explosions. So, yeah, that's interesting. But, yeah, I was wondering why in the world these guys are just all of a sudden they're setting record after record after record every time they go to the track now.
Yep.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, screw it. Let them use 100% nitro.
That's what I say.
Yeah. You know what? If you're going to do it, let's do it.
Let's do it up right.
And make it exciting.
And I thought Tommy had a YouTube channel, but apparently not. Because I was trying to find if he had any recent passes on it, but...
No, he's been on, like, Drag Magazine and those kind of things, but he doesn't have a YouTube channel that I know of.
Nope. The Force Girl ran 340 mile an hour and 1,000 foot.
That's insane.
Yep. She holds the mile per hour, and Antoine Brown holds the
ET.
ET.
What did he run for ET?
I don't even remember now. That was at the beginning of the season, even.
Huh. Yeah, that's crazy. 340 mile an hour and 1,000 foot. Talk about G-force. I don't know. You know, honestly, those cars are accelerating so hard and they vibrate so bad. I don't even know how the driver sees.
They don't. They close their eyes.
They must. They just point it and hang on.
Let's see.
What are you looking up there? So the number one qualifier is 338. That's what you're looking at.
Yeah, that's for. I was trying to find the ET. Da, 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 da. Oh no! Brittany Force beat that too. She ran a 3.659 at 338 mile an hour.
That's just insane. That's crazy. I can remember top fuel cars back when I was a kid in the 70s, and they ran 7 seconds. I mean, that was fast. And they thought back then they couldn't go any faster. Now they're going half that quick. That's just crazy.
It is.
But
Phil III said he'd lose all his teeth in top fuel.
That's funny.
And Mark Timmer, those crowns above or next to everyone's names are our top fans that comment the most.
Oh, okay.
And
You're supposed to keep track of that.
well, it just started working.
Oh.
Trust me, I've been. We must have unlocked something because I've had this on ever since day one.
Huh.
It just now started working. So I have no idea what to do now.
Yeah.
So now I gotta look into that.
Oh boy.
Well, like stop looking into it because I'm like the dumb thing don't work.
Well, now it does. Apparently, you clicked a button.
Let's see here.
So anyhow, did I make my prediction? Oh yeah, I did make my prediction. I think that page is going to run somewhere in the 680, 690s at like 210 to 215, and I really think that without even having the cam change and the increase in boost, that the car's probably capable of running 690s at like 205 now. He's just got to get a good pass.
Yep.
Well, another thing he updated too is he updated his transmission.
Yep.
So I think they got a lockup converter now too.
Yeah. So basically, next year or this year, hopefully, if he gets the parts that he's waiting on, stupid bug.
Yeah, I know we got a gnat flying around here.
Hopefully, he can get it figured out kind of quick, but he's kind of starting over.
Well, he is. I mean, but that's the name of the game. That's how you do it. You just got to keep changing parts.
Hopefully, though, they learned a lot with the suspension, and really they just got to tune the torque converter. But because I think you got a tunable one,
he probably
remember.
did buy a bolt together billet one. So.
Or did he buy the one that's already kind of for his car?
I don't know. Maybe he can tell you. Yeah, I mean, when you get to that level that Ed Page is at, that, when you make a change to the car, you're not talking, I mean, you know what? It's not like a bracket car on the weekend where you decide, you know what, I'm going to change the distributor and it's going to cost you $500. You change a converter and a transmission in a race car at Ed's level, and it's about $15,000 later.
Yeah, he just said the converter's set up for the car.
Okay.
So hopefully he doesn't have much figuring out to do other than just tire pressure and some shock adjustments and wheelie bar adjustments.
Oh, it's going to be more than that. It's going to be, he's going to have to.
Nah, I got faith in Ed.
We're going to have. Oh, I do too. But the thing of it is, it's still going to take a little effort. You know how it goes. It never goes smooth.
I think that he should just drive the car to the track and race it and drive it home.
Yeah, all the way from Connecticut or New Hampshire. I'm talking to Norwalk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. That's a true drag and drive.
Well, right on. Yeah, it's only a 10 or 12 hour drive. And that's at 80 mile an hour with Eddie driving.
Well, they're going to have to stop and get a lot of gas with Eddie driving.
Yeah. So if they're going to drive the Raven at 80 mile an hour all the way from, they better have a trailer just for fuel.
Yep. Yeah, with the fuel pumps in the trailer.
Yeah. Yeah, attached to the car.
Yeah.
They're going to have a big fuel tank. Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, that would be cool.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully
that would be a long drive.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that it probably wouldn't make it.
I don't know. It might. I mean.
Yeah, on the trailer.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't have overdrive though, does he?
No, got a lock-up converter though.
Perfect. He's in there.
That'll keep the R's down on the highway.
Yep. He's in there.
But yeah, that that'll be interesting to see. So I'm kind of excited. I don't know what Ed's still waiting on, but man, I tell you what, guys, what happens? It used to be to build a car like what Ed built, it would take you 2-3 years. Well, now because of all the parts manufacturers are getting stuff overseas and they don't have help, and COVID screwed everything up, and there's just a litany of things that are just causing it to be delayed. But, you know, it turns a 2-3 year project now into freaking 8 to 10 years. And Ed's been working on this for a while now. Fortunately, he has had the car together and he gets to have a little bit of fun with it. But, you know, he still hasn't got everything sorted out because, you know, it takes so long to do this stuff now. And, you know, we used to, on our custom drag race engines, I could usually build a brand new engine from scratch in about 1.5 years. Now it takes 5-6 years. It's just stupid how long it takes to build an engine now. Some of these guys that are watching tonight, I don't know, you know, I won't mention any names because I don't want to call anybody out, but some of the guys that are watching tonight, they've had their engine in the engine shops now for 8-9 years, and still haven't gotten anywhere with it.
Phil third said, let's have a long drive contest.
Yeah, Phil's got a supercharger.
Yep.
I bet you he'd win.
Really, just so do I go to Nebraska and haul a Firebird back from the farm to build, or do I do the drag, or do I drag the 68 to Norwalk? Ooh, does it run? Drag it to Norwalk and see what it runs. If it blows up, push back on the trailer.
Who's asking that?
Thumper, the sweaty fat guy.
Oh, okay, hey, drive it, man. That's what they make car trailers for and tow trucks. You break down, they can come get you.
And he just so happened to ask, how long would it take to get me a Ram Air 5 top end if I had the money today?
We are backed up on top end kits right now. I got people begging me for those things, and I'm telling everybody keep their money right now because what I just had happen at the shop, and we are getting closer to I can disclose that. We can probably disclose some of it, but anyhow, what happened is my shop, we had a fire in the shop, and it was Good Friday, April 18th, which was my wedding anniversary of all days, and I was headed to the shop like normal, and about 8 o'clock in the morning, I get a call from my neighbor who lives behind the shop. And he asked me, he says, hey, Don, he says, are you at the shop? And I said, no, why? He goes, it's on fire. I said, it's on fire. Don't call me. Call the fire department. So, he's seen smoke rolling out of the garage doors, on the 2 back garage doors in the building. And so anyhow, I immediately went from running 55 mile an hour to about 130 in a Suburban. And I beat the fire department to the shop, and I opened up the door, and I thought maybe I could put it out, but there was no way. I opened up the door, fed the fire, and it was crazy inside there. So anyhow, what had happened was I had a piece of equipment, the control panel shorted out on it, and when it did, it had a plastic container or tub, because a vapor hone is what it is. And the plastic fueled the fire, and it just took off, and it caught my shop on fire. And so that's been pretty devastating. They're still working on my shop. It's been 10 weeks now.
Yep.
And so I got, I'm dealing with that, and I feel like I'm literally working out of cardboard boxes right now because of the fire. I can't work in my shop area. We're working out of the retail, and I got one room in the back that we use for disassembly of engines. and that's the only room that we have to work out of right now. So, fortunately, they're going to be able to save the shop. Unfortunately, I had a lot of equipment get burned up over there, so that's something I'm dealing with right now with the insurance company. And on top of that, I had a good customer's car in there. All you guys become friends because these projects take so long. I told you that before. Anyhow, he's a good friend and customer of mine, and his 71 Challenger was in the fire. Not the other Challenger we were building, the Pro Touring car. This one's a resto mod, which is bad enough because even the resto mod, his car's worth $165,000. And we just got done with that car, and we had it in the IX show, the Piston Power show at the IX Center. And we actually won our class with that. And he was literally going to pick it up the day of the fire. I had the car done. It was ready for him to pick up that day. And obviously that didn't happen. And so now we got to deal with that too. And so I would never wish this on my worst enemy, because I'm telling you right now, dealing with the insurance company and the adjusters and everything, because when you have a fire of this magnitude of what happened there, you have an adjuster for the building, you got an adjuster for your contents, and I had to have an adjuster for the vehicle. And I won't get into it tonight on the podcast, but some of the stuff that I thought was covered is not, and not real happy about that. It pisses me off, and part of it's because of COVID. I haven't seen an agent since 2019 because of COVID. Nobody was coming out, and it used to be my personal friend as my agent, and he would come see me every October. We would go over my policy. He would walk around the shop with me, and he knew my shop like I knew it. Because I've been dealing with him for 40 plus years, and he would say, "Hey, Don, that looks like a new piece of equipment there, and it looks like you made an addition here or whatever. We need to add that to your policy." Well, I haven't had anybody out to do that for the last 6 years, and because of that, my policy was not kept up to date, and some things that I thought I was getting that I had whenever I had that agent, and he retired in 2017, which added to on top of it, because the agency that took over for him did not stay on top of it. Just a lot of things that just a lot of bad things happened that should have been avoided, that didn't, and so now I'm dealing with that, and it's been hell for me, guys. I'm not gonna lie, it's been bad, and so we were behind before. And we're actually keeping up a little bit, but what's happening is we're running out of machine work. Now I got to rely on outside sources to get my machine work done, because my machines got burned up in the fire. And plus, we can't use that side of the shop right now because they're still rebuilding it. And hopefully that's going to be done maybe in the next 4 weeks. But anyway, so that's what I've been dealing with. And it couldn't happen at a worse time of year. I mean, it could never happen at a good time ever, but couldn't happen at a worse time, because this is my busy season. This is when we got Norwalk coming up, and I got to get customers ready, and guys have got their hot rods out. We get a real short window in Ohio for weather. I mean, literally a couple months. I mean, this is probably one of the worst places in the country because it rains all the freaking time here.
Other than Seattle.
Yeah, maybe. I don't even think they get as much rain as we get. It's just crazy. I mean, every time I shoot a video at the shop, think about it and say, "Hey, it's raining again in the shop."
Yep. I'm shocked it's not raining right now.
I am too. It's been raining all damn week.
Yeah.
We had a couple of good days, and now we got scolding heat. But anyhow, not going to complain about that. It is what it is. So what I'm doing, guys, is I'm making lemonade out of lemons. I'll get through it. I've had a lot of bad things happen to me in the last 5 years. Some of the stuff is just unbelievable. I mean, I could write a book about what has happened to me in the last 5 years. I almost lost my wife to COVID. She fell off her porch and broke her foot, and anybody that's ever broke their heel knows what I'm talking about. It's the most dense bone in your body, and when it breaks, it shatters. And most people don't start walking from that for like up to 2 years. My wife is super, super strong and determined, and she ended up not fully recovered. Her ankle still swells, and she limps once in a while because it hurts, but she's walking on it with full body weight, and it only took her like about 9 or 10 months. I mean, she's a very strong woman. So I'm very proud of her for what she's been through and what happened. And then on top of it, my accountant ended up with cancer, and I hired another accountant, which was a shyster, and he was ripping me off. And then he ended up ODing because he was a player. And I mean, it's just one thing after another for the last 5 years. And on top of not being able to get parts, not being able to get machine work, we had like 10 machine shops in this area closed. So I've only got like 2 or 3 machine shops that I can go to now. I used to have quite a selection, but because of COVID, these guys either died from COVID, or their employees quit because they didn't want to come to work, or they were older and they just said, screw it, I'm done, I'm going to retire. So I'm not complaining, guys. I told you I'm going to make lemonade out of lemons, but I'm telling you, I've been through hell the last 5 years. So that's all the people that have been hanging with me, and I know that your projects are taking a long time to get done. Then maybe, hopefully, I shed a little light on why we're so far behind. And we are starting to see light at the end of the tunnel, but then we had this fire in the shop. So it seems like every year something comes up, and I end up getting set back, and I'm determined. We will get through this, and I will make it right. But it just, man, it's been hell. So
Phil Thurston, he said he's got one better. His fire department burned down.
Good. Yeah, and you know, Phil's had some bad things too. And like I said, because I deal with you guys on a personal level, I'm not going to share Phil's heartaches, but man, I tell you what, that guy's been through hell too. So
yeah, he likes PT Cruisers.
Well, yeah. Well, that don't make him all bad. I mean, Walt likes it too.
Well, yeah.
Walt, I think, has 2 of them.
Yeah, but Walt is like us. He's a little goofy.
A little? I love my brother Walt. He's a lot goofy.
Yep.
We didn't call him Wild Man for no reason.
That's right.
But, yeah, so.
He even chimed in with a laughing whale.
Who's that, Walt?
Yep.
Yeah. But, yeah, so it's been crazy, guys. It's been crazy. We're going to share videos. I took some videos. My son took some videos. We'll edit all that and show everybody what happened. But, man, oh, man, I just talk about sick to your stomach. When you see your building burning and that's your whole life sitting there. I mean, I literally started my business in a little area about a size of a bedroom in my first retail shop for $400. That's what my investment was to get my business started back in 1980. Well, at that time it was 1982. But I started my business in 81 out of my basement is what I did. And I saved up enough money to move into a little corner spot in a building, and I didn't get to rent the whole building. I only got to rent a corner of it, and build it to what I have today, which is, I don't know, a little over 5,000 square foot building, and several products like cylinder heads and intakes and valve covers and all kinds of stuff that we make, and we have a really big following, and so I'm blessed. I'm very fortunate. It's all determination, and it was not easy. A lot of sleepless nights and a lot of long days. I can tell you that. Still put in long days. So anyhow, I'm done whining.
About time. Jeez, we only took a half hour.
Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol? So we got any readers' rights? Did anybody share any pictures? What have we got? Got any questions there?
No questions. Old School Twist said he thought having to drop an oil pan to retrieve a spacer that rolled into the valley when he lifted the new valley pan was bad.
Yeah, I'll trade you. Oh, I'll tell you what, guys. Whenever my wife was sick with COVID, she got the COVID pneumonia, and she was in the hospital for 6 days, and I stayed with her the whole time, and thank God I did, because if I did not, I don't think I'd have her right now. because the nurses were just understaffed. The nursing staff was, and they were sick with COVID. And so if I would have left her, there would have been nobody to take care of her. And I'm pretty sure I would have lost her. So I stayed with her 24 hours for a day for 6 days in the hospital. And then I had to spend a couple weeks with her at home. And I would sneak away whenever she would take a nap or whatever and go to the shop for a little bit and then come back home and take care of her. And because she was weak, she couldn't even get up off the couch. I had to help her go to the bathroom and help her shower. And I mean, it was bad. It was really, really bad. And that led into why she fell off the porch the next year when we were leaving for vacation to go to Myrtle Beach, which that was another thing. Remember, the tranny went bad in the Suburban.
Yep.
And I literally spent 2 days in a row. I didn't go to bed. I stayed up 2 days, get the truck ready to go to Myrtle Beach. And then my wife called, well, my wife didn't call. The fire department called me and said, hey, you need to get to the hospital. Your wife fell off the porch. And I didn't know at that time what that meant. I just knew that I had to get to the hospital. And I literally just got the transmission back in my Suburban. So I'm telling you guys, I'm not bragging, but I'm a workhorse. I get a lot done.
Viewers rides, everyone's asking.
Yeah, I didn't look at those. I don't even know where to look at those, honestly. I let you do all that. I don't know how to do it.
John Dornbush said he lost his bar in 2013 with pretty much the same thing, story with the insurance.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I tell you what. And I got a good insurance company. It's just that, they're overwhelmed right now, too, because of what just happened in California and Florida and Hawaii. I mean, it's just crazy what's going on out there. And the insurance companies are not paying for stuff that they really should be paying for. And they're trying to find any way out of it they can.
Well, I heard that there's a big lawsuit from people in Oklahoma because of the tornadoes they get.
Yeah.
And the insurance company was telling them that they're covered, taking their money, and then when a tornado hit their house,
They didn't have coverage?
they didn't have coverage. And then the insurance company said, well, you're out of luck.
Oh, that's just fraud.
So now they have a big lawsuit.
That's just nuts.
And the only reason why I know about that is because Jamie and I watch on YouTube Ryan Hall, y'all, he covers weather.
Right.
And he has a bunch of storm chasers and on his feed. And the storm chasers were Ryan Hall, y'all, has like this foundation where he'll give money and food and stuff to these people who lost their house.
Okay.
And he was talking to these people, and that's how he found out. He said, these people, he goes, I feel so bad because I can't give them money to buy a house.
Right.
But he goes, their insurance company specifically on their policy said tornado damage.
You know what? Look at what they did to those poor people in California. You know what? They canceled all those people's insurance right before that fire. Isn't that suspicious? And then down in Florida, they're denying claims. They're not even paying for people's house. If you want to get a deal on a house right now, Florida is a place to buy them because the people don't have the money to fix them, and the insurance company's not paying for it, and they're selling their house that needs redone cheap.
Yep.
It's crazy what's going on out there. Those insurance companies are fast to take your money, but they sure as hell ain't fast at giving it back to you.
Oh, they don't want to give it back to you. All right, I'm moving some files real quick, and then we will get into the Watchers Rides.
All right. Did we get a bunch of them?
We got 2, it says, so far.
Oh, okay. And what's all these? Those are just ones that are
Those
from
are the ones I'm trying to move.
I gotcha. All right. Yeah, so we need to get some burnout videos on here, guys. I mean, you know what? Even if you do it with your tractor or your lawnmower, I don't care.
So Philip III sent another one with his motorcycle pull behind with the Indian head on it.
Is that the sign you made for him?
Yep.
Cool.
Well, this video is for you, Brandon. Brandon at DCI Motorsports Unleashed.
Looks like you painted it.
This is the Pontiac Indian head that you sent me.
Did you paint it black or no?
You guys can get this from Brandon.
You know that
Go
that
to
is just so cool. He's got his cooler on there, too. So you can
johnstonCNCdesigns.com
take
and
your beer with you and
he'll
Yeah.
laser
reach
cut
around
you
back
one.
and
This is
take a
made
beer
out of
out.
Right.
steel, a sheet of steel, and laser cut to a shape. And
I don't think
yeah,
Phil
painted
drinks
it
beer
black and
anymore. I think he
stuck
he
it on my
switched to whiskey.
motorcycle trailer. Sure, it's not a Pontiac, but
That is a nice bike.
you know
Yep.
what? I like it. It looks good.
I don't like motorcycles.
I think
but
I can live with that.
That is a nice bike.
Well, there you have it.
Well, thank you, Phil Third. All right, and then we got one from Mark's TA. So Mark
Okay.
Timmer.
Yeah, Mark and Barb. We're built. Well, I already got the engine done for them. We got to get it on the run stand yet, but the engine's done, and we got a bunch of parts because we're going to put it in the car for them too. But obviously, I can't do that right now because my shop's all burned up. So we will get to it, but it's going to take me a minute.
Here's
Yeah.
Mark's TA.
Yep. So I think Barb got this car, and she can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she got this car when they first got married, or before they first got married, or high school, or graduation for college. I don't remember how she ended up, but she's had that car for a long, long time, I think.
He's going to put a 455 in. I'm assuming you're building.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
We're going to build a pump gas 455.
Let's see here.
It's got an Olds engine in it right now. We're going to take the Olds engine out, put a Pontiac engine in it.
And then this was sent. I don't know if we ever seen this.
What is this?
Oh no, we did see this. Okay, this is old school twist.
That's the one he was
yeah.
getting out of the boneyard.
Yep.
He did good on that. That was a heck of a deal. I wonder how he found that car.
And then Phil Third, I did not switch over.
Well, this
so,
video is for
Switch
you,
over to
Brandon.
what?
so that way
Brandon
everyone
at
can see.
DCI Motorsports Unleashed.
Did he get
This
his
is the Pontiac
whiskey
Indian
smoker
head
yet?
that you sent me, and
You
you guys
should be
can
getting to
get
him
this
soon.
from Brandon.
okay.
Yep.
You go to johnstonCNCdesigns.com and
Yeah,
he'll
maybe
laser
he can
cut
put
you
a
one. This
video
is
on
made
that of
out
him
of
using his
steel,
video
a sheet
or
of
his,
steel, and
whiskey
laser
smoker.
cut
Yep.
to a shape.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, painted it black and stuck it on my motorcycle trailer. Sure, it's not a Pontiac,
Yeah,
but
so yeah,
you know what?
that
I like it. It looks good there.
we covered all bases tonight. I mean, we covered a lot of stuff. I mean, I wasn't really planning on exposing the fire damage yet for the shop, but I think I'm far enough along now with adjusters and insurance companies. I don't have to worry about it so much now. But I was afraid to say anything because you know how that goes, and it's like attorneys tell you not to talk. Well, that's why I was kind of keeping it under wraps till I found out what was going to happen, and I still don't know what they're going to do for contents. I'm worried about that, especially after what happened with the Challenger that was in there. And, thankfully I didn't have the other Challenger in there too, because that's $1 million car, and not shortcoming the other one, because it's a very, very nice car. You guys seen probably the pictures from Facebook when I took it to the IX show. But the other car just, it's all custom. Every panel on that car is custom. So, anyways, like I said, we'll get through it. It just an unfortunate circumstance, and fortunately, nobody got hurt. Nobody was at the shop when it happened. It happened right before we got there. Had somebody been there, maybe we could have put it out in time. But I have a feeling that probably started at somewhere around 6 o'clock in the morning, and it finally came to full blaze around 8. Thank God it didn't happen at 2 o'clock in the morning, because everybody would have been in bed. My shop would be gone.
Yep.
It would have leveled it.
Oh, it would have been gone. Yep.
Yep. Nobody would have seen it till it was too late. And speaking of that, did you see that big house that caught on fire up there in Northfield or somewhere? They just had on the news.
That mansion or whatever.
It was
Is that what you're
huge.
talking about?
Yeah, it was like a 10,000 square foot home.
Yeah, well, they're suspecting it was fraud or insurance fraud.
Oh.
Because that's the second time in the in the month that it caught on fire.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I
Probably a pissed off wife. She got divorced. She wanted to want the house.
Miraculously, they were updating the second wing or something like that.
I heard on the news they said it was because a cell phone battery caught on fire.
Well, maybe that's what it was, but I know when it first happened, they were speculating a lot of different things.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we had a local restaurant here. It seemed like every couple of years that place just mysteriously caught on fire, and he'd get all brand new equipment and get his restaurant redone.
And the name wouldn't change, but the owners would.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. I think it stayed the same owner, but it stayed the same name too. But I think they finally caught him. He went to jail. That only happens like 2-3 times before they start suspecting you.
Yep. Old school twist says also known as Greek lightning.
Right? Yeah, maybe what we'll do is when Ed gets his car all back together and he thinks he's got a good handle on it, we'll do another contest or give a T-shirt away. You know what, son? I got a guy that I know.
I think we just need to make it just for him.
Well, I'm just going to give him the shirts. But the thing of it is,
what I'm saying though is we're just going to have to make them here.
Well, what happens? He ordered those shirts, and then the fire broke out, and it's been total chaos for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I dropped the ball. It's not his fault. He put his order in, and I screwed up. So.
Randy French wants to know: is the car going to make it to Norwalk? Your car?
That's going to depend on him and his buddy Jason. I'm working with the engines together, and we're working on the intake right now. So if we can get that done this week, which that's the game plan is, I'll get the engine out here, and then we'll see how they can do getting it in the car. And then we got to go through the car because we're going to have to check the wiring. We're going to have to check the brakes. We're going to have to get another tire because that one's cut.
Yep.
We're going to have to get new safety harness and new window net because those are all outdated now. So we got some work to do, but that's the goal. If we can do it, we're going to try to have it there and have the Ram Air 4, the iron Ram Air 4 there and see how it does.
Yep. But, all right, well, it's 7:04 actually.
7:04. Yeah, the hour goes by pretty quick. I mean, I don't mind going over when the guys are hanging out because it looks like our audience has been hanging out the whole time.
Yeah,
so, thank you guys. Appreciate it. And so, if you haven't hit the like button, make sure and do that. And some of you guys are subscribed, but I don't know if all of you are or not. So anybody comes in on here, so if you would please subscribe. We are growing.
Yep.
I mean, our channel's up to 4,253 or 57 people now.
Something like that, yeah.
Subscribers. Yep. And just about 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, it was only like 4,000 something.
4,080 something, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it is growing pretty good. That's awesome.
Yeah, no,
Thank
it's
you.
awesome. We had 214 subscribers in the last 28 days.
That's pretty good.
That's really good.
I've been trying to post more videos on there, which is what helps get that up. But with all that I got going on right now, it just that's been hard. But I have been rebuilding a lot of carburetors here lately, so I've been sharing a lot of carburetor videos.
Yep. And also, I'm going to video the us putting the engine in. So that's going to be going up. It's going to be raw because we won't have time to edit it.
That's all right. That's what everybody wants to see anyway.
So
just don't
maybe minimum editing, but
make sure your butt crack ain't hanging out.
Well, I was gonna say, like, if if something's hanging out or so that might get cut out. Maybe. I don't know yet.
Remember, we're gonna do the Funkle Butt shirts. I'm glad your eyes are still good because I can't read nothing on that screen.
For some reason, some of the vids you put on up my phone won't let me comment, but I do see and like them. Well, thank you for that. And yeah,
awesome.
Depending on what kind of phone you have and how old it is, YouTube won't let you comment. And then sometimes also it depends on how you see them. If they pop up on Facebook and you click on the video, yes, it'll show you the YouTube on top and everything, but it won't let you comment. So
yeah, because Facebook does that. They don't want you going over to that. That's a competitor, so they don't want you going over there. And I share a lot of them on Facebook because so many of you guys are on there, and that So I know you'll see it there, but if you see it there, you don't have to click the link in the Facebook. You can go to the YouTube channel and watch it, and then you can comment.
Yep. So, but other than that, yeah, we're caught up. And
all right, guys. Well, you know what? I don't know what next week's going to be about, but we're getting close to Norwalk, so you know, maybe if we're lucky, I can get. What I want to do is I want to run the engine before we bring it out here, so make sure there's no leaks or anything, because I don't want to put it in the car and then have to pull right back out.
Right.
So what we'll do is we'll run it on the run stand, make sure everything's working right and the oil pressure's good and nothing's leaking, and retorque the heads and get all that stuff done at the shop, and then that way all you got to do is plug and play.
All right, perfect.
That's the goal.
Yep, because do you think we need to change the filter on that transmission?
Shouldn't need to.
Just drain the fluid and put new in?
I don't even think we need to do that.
All right.
Yep. I think we're good.
All right. Well, you heard it, guys.
Check, make sure it's full, and check the rear end oil, make sure it's good, because that car, literally, that chassis was just done, and I just done that transmission for my customer before I bought the car, so.
Well, I definitely need to check the fluid then.
Right?
All right, everybody. Well, thanks for hanging with us tonight. And I know we kind of got a little bit off topic, but you know what? We covered a lot of different topics. So
yeah, sorry about getting a little sideways there, but I felt like I owe it to you guys to know what's going on, because we've been keeping that under wrap, like I said, because I didn't know what the insurance company was going to do. So, but yeah. So I appreciate everybody hanging out with us tonight. It was fun. We will have hopefully something interesting to talk about next week.
It's Phil Thursday. I got to go, and I mean go.
Oh, boy. All right, guys.
John Dorterbush said DCI Rolling Unleashed. That's what the videos are going to be, with me putting the engine in with Jason.
Yep.
And yes, we do use our finger to check the rear end oil.
Put it right in the bunghole.
All right, guys.
Don't lick your finger, though.
Oh, now you tell me.
Well, you can if you want.
Well, I mean, you showed me that when I was younger. I've done it all these years now.
I didn't show you.
Yeah, huh?
I think you learned that on your own.
Nope, I learned from you, Walt, and my Uncle Paul.
Maybe Walt showed you that. I don't know.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging with us, and be safe, and we'll see you next week.
All right, good night, all.